Well, it's the start of the 2019 CFL season, and I thought it was time that I gave you an update on what's going on with 49 football. Of course, 49 football works for both CFL and NFL. So in this update, I'm going to talk to you about the quick play rules of the game because I get a lot of inquiry about that. I'm going to talk to you about some of the past seasons that I've been working on. I'm going to talk to you about the in-season replay that's coming up for Canadian football. And finally, I'm going to talk about the updates there are to the 2019 version of the 49 football game, the North and the South, which of course comes with the 2018 seasons, which are already been put out. So the NFL and the CFL season are both ready. So first, let me talk about the quick play version of the game. And as you can see how I've got the game set up here right now, this is a game between 1977 BC and Montreal, and I've been enjoying playing some of the older seasons. I played through the 71 season and playing BC, and then the odd other game that I thought was of interest, I would play it. I played through the 2000 season in the CFL, same thing with the BC Lions, and then I did the 1978 season with the Seattle Seahawks. And I did that all just using the quick play game, just to make sure that the statistics are good. And what I found was that they're actually very good. They're just as good as the standard game. So the number one question I have is on the quick play, because we all have a lot of projects that we're working on, and so we don't always have a whole lot of time. Well, the cool thing about 49 football, the way I kind of made the game up with the standard game and the quick play, is you can bounce between them very easily. In fact, the real differences in the standard game versus a quick play is if you look on the team charts, along the very top of the team chart is the defensive play calling. And what I've done is I've taken the defensive play calling and the influence and combined them all into this one little sheet that's a D20 roll for the quick play charts. Now there's maybe a couple little tweaks I'm gonna make and adds to that as maybe time goes on, but right now I can play a game, a Canadian game, in just over an hour. And I have other people who have told me that they're playing games in just under an hour. So, you can expect that. That's if you're doing your own play calling. Now you can use the solitaire charts, and that's going to add about 10 or 15 minutes to the game. And then a standard game, a CFL, is going to take you about an hour and 40, hour and 45 minutes. And then an NFL game, just because there's that many more plays, is going to be closer to 2 hours. Another thing I've been working on, especially with the CFL, is past seasons. And I've been asked, are you going to do the same thing with NFL? And I would like to someday, if this ever grows to be enough where I can get some help, then I can do NFL as well. The difference is with the CFL, for the most part, there's been 9 teams for each season. A lot of seasons there was 8. There was the expansion years in 94 and 95. In 95, I think there was like 12 or 13 teams in the league. But for the most part, it's doing 9 teams. You're doing a replay of a season for an NFL, it's 32 teams. So it takes 4 times as long for me to come up with an entire season. So I'm hoping to get to that someday, but right now my focus is on CFL. I've had a pretty big backlog, which I'm almost through with CFL seasons. So if there's a season you're looking for and it's not one that I've already done, I can do it and it'll take about 2 days. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite ways to play 49 football, and that is the in-season play-along. And of course, I like the BC Lions in the CFL and the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. I started doing the in-season play-alongs in 2015 when I first came up with 49 football. The problem with my game then, it was very complex. It was 4.5-hour games. So I couldn't keep playing along. I didn't have enough time to develop the game and play all the games that I wanted to do. But by 2016, I'd refined 49 football to very close to where it is today. And so I started doing my play-alongs with the BC Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Now for the CFL, I actually offer that for anybody that wants, because again, it's the 9 teams versus 32 teams. Maybe one of these years I will do a play along with the NFL and offer that. But the neat thing is when you order the 2018 team charts, you get the spreadsheet. So I send you the spreadsheet that I actually use to create the team charts. So you can very easily, through profootballreference.com, you can create your own in-season charts. It'll take you maybe, first time you're going to do it, it's going to maybe take you half an hour, but after that, it's maybe 15 or 20 minutes to actually pull a chart together. So you can update your favorite team every week if you want and do a play along that way. If you don't have the time to do that, for the CFL that is, the way I do it is around the 4th of July. So after week 4, week 5, somewhere in there, I'll send out the first charts. And that's after every team's played somewhere between 3 and 4 games in the CFL. And then I'll send out another update in August. I'll send an update in September. Last year I actually sent an update in October. And then at the end of the year, you get the final team chart so you can play along with the playoffs. So you can play through the season and then you get to play the playoffs as well. And all of that is part of the in-season play-along package that is now available on the website. So the quick play version of the game, it really is a fun way to play the game because it flows so quickly. And maybe I'll actually do a video on it. I'd like to do more videos, I just don't have a whole lot of time. But the problem is it doesn't take a whole big footprint to have everything laid out, and getting the camera angles right and get your hands around, well, it just makes it difficult to do. But maybe I'll try and do a couple of videos on maybe the first 5 minutes of a game just so you can see how quick it actually plays along. Okay, so now some upgrades to the 2019 version in case you've had one of the older versions, if you bought it in 2018 or 2017 or 2016. There's been a few changes this year, nothing major. The team charts look pretty much the same, although the offensive influence is now split into a run and pass. I've got a new play in there, it's called the zone read. And there's places where I actually write it down as read option, and it's really not a read option. It is the zone read, which is pretty much a straight running play. I'm gonna have a modification coming up pretty soon that can actually do a zone read. So where a quarterback takes the snap, puts it into the belly of the running back, and then decides, okay, am I gonna give you the ball or am I gonna pull it back and try pass? So look for that one coming up pretty soon. Blitzing is now this is all for the standard game, is now broken into a basic and an aggressive. So if you want to play basic defense, you can still blitz, but it doesn't have the same effect as an aggressive blitz, which you can only play if you're actually playing a full run or a full pass defense. Some minor adjustments to the running back number, to the defensive ratings, to the offensive line blocking. Kick and punt returners are now separated into individual returners. So you can do it as a team return if you want, or you can use the actual individual returners. I've got the inclusion of more false start penalties. With the newer teams where there is penalty data available, I've broken it out, each team into a penalty rating, and there's a couple of cards now that if you ordered the 2017, I think it is, and before then, the upgrade, which is on the website, you'll get an extra set of 10 game action cards, and one of those calls for a penalty to the team that has a max penalty. So if you're playing a team that takes a lot of penalties, that could come in be part of the game. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, like you do get the Excel spreadsheet, and I think that's one of the fun things that comes with 49 football. The game action card, the result action cards are really the core of what drives the game engine, but it's also in the spreadsheet. And I'm giving you the spreadsheet so you can actually put logos on it and change it around to however you'd like it to be. I'm having a lot of fun playing through some of these older seasons, and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next. I'm thinking for the CFL, I'm going to do 63 BC Lions and then 64 when they actually won the Grey Cup. But they had a great team in 63, so I'm going to see if I can do that. And then with Seattle, I'm going to start really soon the 1979 replay. Played 78. I thought I was going to jump ahead, but 79 looks like a pretty fun year for Seattle. 78 and 79, they had really good teams that didn't quite make the playoffs. And in my replay in 78, they didn't make the playoffs as well. So I'm going to try it again in 1979. And what you might have noticed in front of me here is something totally unrelated to football, and that is hockey. I got a game between Vancouver and Philadelphia. I've been working on a hockey game as well, and I'm not sure when it's going to come out. There's a lot of work that needs to get done to it. My first priority has been getting these past seasons updated for the CFL, and so this has been put on hold for a little bit, but because the playoffs were just on the Stanley Cup, I thought I'd take this game out and just see where I was at, and I don't know, look for it someday. I might get as far as actually getting it out there, but it's all basically done in the same way as 49 football. And for those of you that don't know, 49 football is 100% stats based. There is no subjectivity to it at all. So if you've got the statistics that are needed to create the team charts, and those are in profootballreference.com, CFL.ca, and there's one other website for CFL you have to go to get the fumble data because it's not all in one place. As long as you have access to that data, you can create the team charts. Well, I'm doing the same thing with hockey. The problem with older seasons in hockey is there's not a lot of data. So things like takeaways, giveaways, block shots, hits, plus minus is about the only thing that you have that goes way back. So for doing older seasons, it'll be a struggle, but again, I'm a long way from that. maybe one day this hockey game is going to make it to market. I don't know. We'll have to see. I enjoy playing the game, which I put it down as professional research because I'm making sure that the statistics all line up, and they do, which is kind of fun and rewarding. Anyway, as I get more information, I'll let you know, but don't look for anything anytime soon with a hockey game. But football, definitely. Football is happening, and the 2019 version is a real good one.